What do men really want? What are the needs that they have that they might be reluctant to ask for? Are they just simple beings that as long as their stomach is full and they might get a little nookie on the side, they're good to go? Or are they more complex than that? More complex than we have been conditioned to believe? In this video, I discuss 8 things that men actually want, but don't necessarily say out loud. These are 8 emotional needs that are often going unmet. I'm also going to give concrete examples of how you might help meet these needs in the special men in your life. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm a professional counselor with over 20 years of experience. I'm also a wife and mom of 4 boys and 2 girls. I work to highlight some of the men's issues that I see as a therapist in an effort to increase their own personal awareness and also society's awareness. My goal is to encourage the strength of masculinity to broaden out to include emotional awareness and openness. I believe when our men do better, we all do better. So I'm going to talk about the 8 things that men need that they might not be talking about. Number 1 is appreciation. Men want to be seen. They want to be acknowledged for who they are as a unique individual. They need others to recognize what they are doing in big ways and in small ways. How can we do this? Well, we can give compliments. We can say things like, "You look nice in that shirt. I appreciate you as a boss because you're really logical and you always listen. You are so funny, you always make me laugh. I respect your dedication to our family. I appreciate how hard you try at that. You're a really great brother. I appreciate having you as a neighbor. I'm proud to call you a friend. You always make things better, even when it's a crummy situation." We can also ask them questions. Ask about their day. Ask about the challenges they might be having at work. If you know something new has happened in their life, maybe inquire. "Hey, how's that new boss? I can't believe you achieved that. How did you accomplish that? You seem a little off. If there's anything you want to talk about, I'll be here." And another part of appreciation is just gratitude, saying thanks. "Hey, I appreciate that you did the lawn today." Thank a friend for supporting you during a hard time. Thank your brother who went over and raked your mom's leaves. Show some appreciation to the guy you see working overtime to make a bit more money for his family. Thank a dad for being a really good role model for his kids. Thank a son for being kind to his sisters. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is support. Men actually need us to help lift their burden. While being the rock of support is usually the role that they have in a family, sometimes they need us to help them, to give them a break. But how can we support our guys? Maybe you go and get his vehicle washed, or you rally up the kids and you do it in your front yard. Maybe you get a bonus at work and you offer to pay one of the bills that he usually does. Could you think about something that your fella does that maybe you could hire out? Maybe find a neighbor kid to mow the lawn. Something I've done is watched a YouTube video so that I put up my own light fixture instead of asking my husband to do it. If you have a friend moving into a new apartment, maybe you could offer to grab some groceries. If you know a single dad, maybe you could offer to watch the kids a little bit. Number 3 is connection. Men need a sense of belonging. They need a sense that they are included in a group. Whether that be a family, a community, a team, they need to be part of something bigger than themselves. You see, all human beings are innately wired for connection. It's not just women that need connections, it's men too. In 2020, a study done by Cigna Insurance found that 63% of men described not having meaningful relationships and struggled with loneliness. What's important to know about loneliness is that the impact on the body is actually as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. You see, because we are wired for connection, because that is a biological need, when we don't have that need met, our body suffers. Men are more likely to prefer side-to-side or shoulder-to-shoulder interactions with others, whereas women are more likely to appreciate the face-to-face connections. So men generally find more comfort in connecting through activities. We also have to be aware that men are actually very afraid of rejection, just like women are. So sometimes we need to start by reaching out to them. Here are some ways. Maybe invite a male friend of yours to come over and watch a TV show or a game. See if a coworker would want to do a walk during lunch, or maybe sit down for a lunch together. If you know a friend is working on a project, maybe ask if you could come over and help them out. If you like to fish, see if somebody wants to come along. Honestly, almost anything is a little more fun with other people. Maybe offer some co-raking where you both rake your lawn and then you both rake his. Offer to go to a movie. Even if you don't talk a lot, there's still something about being together that is very healing and healthy. If you know a divorced dad, maybe reach out to him to make sure that he's not alone on the holidays. If you see somebody in the store that you know, stop and chat a little bit. Give a little bit of your time. Develop intergenerational friendships. Maybe reach out to somebody in a nursing home or in your church that you could really befriend, because elderly people are often very lonely. Maybe you have a skill that you could teach. Throw it up on Facebook. Say that you're going to build a chicken coop and see if any guys want to come over, help out, and maybe learn how to do it themselves. Okay, number 4 is a sense of security. Men need to have a sense that they can relax and feel safe in their relationships. We all have very fragile egos, and we are worried about being abandoned or rejected. Do you know a guy that gets easily defensive, angry, jealous? That's because of his insecurities. We all have them, and we have to acknowledge that men need a sense of safety too. Men are very cautious about getting hurt, especially emotionally, and so oftentimes you'll see them preemptively put up a wall or pull away just to prevent them from getting hurt. Men need to know that you are continually picking them, that you're not looking to trade them in for a more handsome husband or a smarter coworker or a funnier friend. They need to know that they are enough. Tell them that you're really glad that they are in your life. Send them a random text message saying, I've been really lucky to have you as a friend. Maybe let them know that you wouldn't pick a different brother if you had the chance. Maybe tell a coworker that they have really made the job that much more tolerable because they're there. Okay, number 5. Men want validation. They need people to understand the challenges of being a man in today's society. We often talk about the privileges or the benefits of being a man, but we have to understand that there also are some downsides, some challenges to being a man in today's society that need to be validated and understood. They are never supposed to show weakness. They're supposed to keep their feelings to themselves. If you're worried about your job, deal with it. If you're insecure about being a new dad, you'll figure it out. They are also supposed to be a workhorse. Work, 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 and sacrifice. That is their role. That is the expectation. There's also a pressure to be successful and financially set. That is how they are given their worth. That is how they are given value. But on the flip side, if they're too successful, then people are intimidated and they think that they're trying to keep other people down. It's important that we understand these are real challenges. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some benefits to being a man. Of course there are. But there are also benefits to being a woman. It's important not to broad brush that being a guy is just so great and easy. We need to see it bigger and broader and clearer than that. We need to have the ability for more nuanced thinking than that. Okay, I'm gonna stop for a second and I'm gonna ask a big favor. If you are appreciating these videos, I would really like it if you gave either a comment down below, if you gave a thumbs up, if you subscribed. That way I know that this material is helpful for people. Please share it with a friend. In addition, if you happen to mention something about the chicken in the comments, that'll make my 12-year-old super happy. Okay, number 6, we are talking about the need for permission. They want permission to expand beyond the pigeonhole of masculinity, to go beyond the culturally prescribed version of manliness so that they can seek their own creativity, their own individuality, meet their own needs. And while they're doing that, it's a little awkward because it's not really very comfortable going against the grain in society. So they also need grace. They also need you to give them permission to be more vulnerable, to be more open, to be more emotional. Maybe they want to be a stay-at-home dad. Maybe you have a son that wants to pursue nursing. Maybe you have a friend that doesn't want to be in the corporate world anymore and wants to be an artist. Allow men to be insecure. Allow them to be needy. Give them permission by how you interact with them that is okay with you, that you want to support them emotionally in whatever way that they need so that they feel strong and they build their confidence. And finally, give them permission to be imperfect. There are a lot of pressures on men to be good workers, good husbands, good fathers. There's a lot of expectations there that are really hard to meet. One of the things that I know from the multitude of men that I have treated, they are generally trying their best. Sometimes we give them malicious intent behind what they're doing, like they're passively, aggressively doing things. And the reality is they generally do not do things that are intentionally provocative for others in their lives. They're a little bit more simple, more straightforward than that. And so assume the best. Number 7, men want touch. Now, I know this is a physical need, but it also transitions into being an emotional fulfillment when it's met. Obviously, we can be talking about sexual touch, but sex is hardly the only way that we can touch our fellas. Men actually really want non-sexual touch. Again, men are wired very similar to women in that touch is a really important way to bond and to feel good. Do you realize how little men actually are touched in our society? Men rarely touch one another because, oh, God forbid, they would be considered homosexual. Non-related men and women rarely touch because we don't want to give the wrong impression. We don't want to be accused of anything. And men are often afraid to touch children because people will consider them perverted. So let's think about how we can include more touch. One way is to hug the fellas in our lives. That means our little boys, that means our teenage boys, and that means our men. Maybe we can put an arm around the shoulder. Maybe we can give a pat on the back. Maybe we can hold hands while we're riding in a car. Could we rub their shoulders or give them a head massage? Could we wrestle more with our sons? Another example is touching elderly men in the nursing home by rubbing lotion on their hands. Another idea would be to give the men in your life a gift certificate for a professional massage. It's not uncommon for me as a clinician to offer a hug to clients, both men and women, who might be struggling or might be going through a hard time. I can't tell you the number of men that have been shocked that I offer it and are so grateful. Now, caveat here, of course, we want to be careful about boundaries and inappropriateness and all of that. I'm hoping that you are mature enough to understand that. I'm not suggesting that we do things that are outside of our boundaries or comfort, but I want us to consider the importance of touch just biologically and consider if there's a way to include that more in the lives of our men. Okay, we are almost done. We have number 8. Number 8 is purpose. Men want to have a purpose. They need that. They need direction. They need goals. They need meaning. Having a sense of direction, having a point to reach is a way that they get a sense of being worthy in this world. They don't feel pointless. They don't feel empty. Floundering is a tremendously anxiety-provoking feeling when there is no sense of where they're going. Oftentimes, without a purpose, what you'll see is laziness, unmotivation, and depression. So for our young men, I want us to encourage more agency. And what I mean by that is give them things to do in our home. Give them chores, give them jobs, give them activities that can contribute. For example, I have a son that has been walking out an elderly neighbor's dog for the last 2 years. It gives him something to do. It gives him a way to contribute. We need to have some requirements, some expectation for our guys. I can tell you when they are given these expectations that they have to rise up to, that are reasonable, age appropriate, etc., it gives them a sense of confidence. It gives them the sense that they are capable and effective in this world. If we don't do it, we're giving them the message that we don't believe in them, so we don't ask anything of them. Another way we can help with their purpose is support their goals. Help them reach them in the ways that we can. And lastly, we can also provide direction. Okay, we've made it. 8 things that men want you to know, but they don't want to say. Number 1, appreciation. 2 is support. Number 3 is connection. 4 is security. 5 is validation. 6 is permission. 7 is touch. And 8 is purpose. I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope it helped make some paradigm shifts in your brain about what men might need that they're just not talking about. Thanks for watching. Bye. Challenges of being a man in today's society. Okay, that's not a good one. They are never supposed to show weakness. They are always supposed to be. They're never supposed to show weakness. They're supposed to be invulnerable. Okay, sorry, I have to, oh shoot, okay. Are not easy to always carry on their shoulders. They need people to understand that being a rock all the time is a heavy burden.